Global News Ngayon. Global News Ngayon. To a major news weekly. MCBN News. Media Content Broadcasting Network Incorporated. MCBN. Von Canton.
Ito ang MCBN News, isang oras na magbabalita at pagtalakay ng mga maiinit na issue ang hatid namin sa inyo.
Joey Abrinilla.
Pinuri si Pimentel ng tunay na makasapi ang PDP laban dahil isinakripisyo ng senador ang Senate presidency.
Nasa emergency mode ngayon ang Toronto dahil sa pagdagsa ng mga refugees.
News features from our correspondents.
Yan ang Balitang Canada mula dito sa Montreal. Ako si Tenny Rose Dena.
Mula rito sa Pinoy Radio California Newsroom. Ito si Brian B.
Yan ang Balitang Trending, Patrick Pascual. At ito po ang ulat ng panahon, Ryan Pepper.
At yan ang ating tampok na Balitang Kapansin-Pansin. The Week. That was newsworthy. We keep you up to speed.
Kaya yun naman ang bibiliban mo kay Trump. Madaldal, maingay, masakit magsalita pero may aksyon.
We shape the way people think.
Ang sa akin, hindi rin ako masyadong agreeable doon. But as what I've said, I understand where the president was coming from.
It was merely 2 years since this whole thing started. And look where we are now. MCBN, our way of making a difference. 2018 is the year where we at MCBN move much faster, live much higher, and make the team much stronger. We are here to continuously reinvent, redefine, with fresh and bold ideas every time. We are your MCBN. Everything else is as good as new. Ika'y nakikinig sa himpilan ng lahing kayumanggi. PinoyRadio.com.
Today's best of Pinoy music. All day, every day. PinoyRadio.com.
Bawat minuto ay mahalaga. Give us 30 minutes and you will know what they can offer. Bawat mensahe may kabuluhan. Give us half an hour and we'll keep you up to speed with the current affairs in your area. Business and politics in 30 minutes. BP in 30 with Von Canton on PinoyRadio.com. BP in 30. Mapapakinggan na. Nandito na sila. Kabayan, kinig na.
All right, it is 4:26 right now. My name is Von Canton. Welcome to this special episode. This is Business and Politics on a Sunday. You know, sometimes we do it on Saturday and Sunday. It depends on the availability of our special guests. But of course, this afternoon it's very important to know and to meet our candidate here in the city of Vaughan. And I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Gino Rosati. He is the local and regional councilor of the city of Vaughan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Salamat.
All right.
Magandang hapon. Kumusta kayong lahat?
That's perfect. So you know some Tagalog words now.
Few words.
Few words. That's good. So I know Filipino community in the city of Vaughan is very close to you.
Yes.
Especially the leadership of Miss Erlinda Insigne.
That is correct.
Yes, and she's the president of the Filipino-Canadian Association of Vaughan. And you guys made a lot of improvements in the city of Vaughan.
Yes.
So now you're running again.
Correct.
You are the current local and regional councilor of the city of Vaughan. And as we discussed earlier, before the live broadcast, you said you've been serving for the last 25 years?
Correct.
All right. So if you win this election, this is a re-election. It makes you that adds another 4 years.
Correct.
So 29 years in service. Wow. So you want to make it sure you're gonna win this election.
Well, I will do my very best.
Yeah.
As I always say.
You're very humble. So now let's talk about your platforms first. Of course, you're running again because you have some unfinished business in the city of Vaughan, correct?
Correct.
So when you have unfinished business, that triggers you to run again and complete the task. At least, you know, as you said before I retire, at least everything is, at least, you know, you did everything for the city of Vaughan in the service of the people of Vaughan. All right. So what are your platforms and future plans? I mean, let's talk about your vision for the city of Vaughan.
Okay, well, there's a number of things that I think needs continuous attention and solutions. Particularly, we started with traffic congestions and public transit. We're tackling that issue head on, but it's not that easy, and there's a lot more that we need to do, from widening our regional roads to bringing subways, which we have, and continue beyond the present location. We are widening Highway 7, and we're putting in public transit. And this really comes in two components. Roads are important, but way of the future, providing accessible, affordable, and convenient public transit is very, very important. And we're focusing on that as well as a region.
Especially the city is very progressive, and it's growing rapidly, should I say.
Yes.
And of course, someday more investors will come in the city, and the traffic will get worse.
Absolutely, but we have to be careful that we balance our infrastructure to the growth. We can't just grow without any regards to all the other components, and roads, public transit, and community service, and all those things are very important. And we need to make sure that there is always a reference from one to the other and vice versa, because it's gotta go in harmony. And if the roads and the public transit and all the other service can't keep up, then we have to make adjustments. And we have a mandate from the province of to grow, where to grow, and we are, addressing all those issues, and we want to make sure that growth can be supported.
Yes,
very important.
And of course, the budget.
Correct. And of course, growth brings demands.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, well, you're going to collect more taxes. Yes, we do, but we also have to provide a relatively speaking, more services to that growth, and that always
it should be sustainable.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So let's talk about your plan to expand the senior services. If you retire, you're going to belong to this group, right?
Correct.
So you better do it right now.
Well, we're doing a lot for our seniors.
Okay.
We probably have a very active senior society in Vaughan, and we have a lot of seniors club. We provide space, we provide services, we provide guidance, we do everything we can, but that doesn't mean we cannot do more. And we will do more in terms of affordability. A lot of seniors can't afford the property taxes because, as you may be aware, our property taxes also includes a major component that goes for public education, for the schools.
Oh, yes.
And now with the new government, I'm hoping that we're going to renew our effort, or my efforts, to say, hey, you know what? Our seniors need a break. Education should be paid by the general revenues of the government, and not from property taxes.
The property taxes.
Because property tax is not based on anything other than the value of the property, and even if you're a senior, you may not be well, you still have to pay.
So in short, you want to relax the seniors.
That's correct.
Because they're getting old, you don't want to oblige them every year to give this money.
Correct.
I mean, this collection from them, like,
so we gotta give them a break and hopefully reduce and eventually eliminate, at the very least, the education component.
I like the word break, because the other candidate for the city, Frank Mel mentioned the other day, is being specific on these issues for seniors, and of course I'm absorbing everything, and now I'm talking to you. You're the incumbent. Specific breaks for the seniors. Going back to the property taxes, we have to consider they have equity on their properties, mostly.
That's correct.
Right. So meaning they have their property there, and whenever they decide to sell it, of course they're going to pay the city whatever is due. So is it possible for you guys to do that, like stop collecting for a while, give them some breaks? You talk about the break, like at least for the next 4 years, don't collect property taxes from the seniors because they need it. And again, just like a bank, there's a collateral. The guarantee is there. The property is there. They have enough equity to cover it, but they do not doesn't have actual cash because they're no longer working.
Okay, well, that's a little more complicated than it appears on the surface, and there are provincial legislations
that go against with that.
May go against that. And what the provincial allows now for seniors, to do just that for increases. In other words, if I can't pay the increase, I'm going to defer that increases at a later date. That was with the previous government, but I don't think.
So just defer the increase,
that's
but
correct.
not the principal.
No.
Okay.
What also means that under the Municipal Act, we have to treat everybody the same. Whether you're a senior or a youth, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, the property tax applies to the property. And if we can't defer it indefinitely, and if you don't pay your taxes, we have a policy, but also a requirement that we have to charge interest.
Yeah.
And the interest that the municipalities charge is much higher than what you get from a savings account. So it doesn't make sense to not to pay your taxes unless the legislation changes and allows us to forego.
And it should be coming from the province.
That's correct. To forego, say, interest.
Yes.
But also we have to.
But they're complaining. That's the point. The seniors are complaining about the cash on hand.
That's correct. But also we have to bear in mind that we need X number of dollars every year to run the city and to run the region. And if we reduce taxes in one area, we have to increase it somewhere else.
Yes.
And now that flexibility is not there.
Because everything should be balanced.
Correct. And that's why I go back to what I was saying. Let's remove or reduce and eventually remove the education component from the property taxes.
Okay.
That's a big chunk. And then let's remove the component that the region contributes toward healthcare, even though it's funded by the federal and provincial government jointly, about 80%, the region of New York still has to contribute toward those services, some 20%. And that adds up. That's a lot of money that we have to charge our taxpayers. Okay?
And then,
so there's a lot of things that could be done, but the will to do it so far has not been there. I'm hoping that with a new government that maybe we can make some inroads.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, for sure the seniors will keep on asking you about what benefit them, especially you guys are running now. What can you promise to them? And again, we just want to be specific on the expansion of senior services or the senior citizen services. What about transportation?
Yes.
Do you have any plans for the seniors?
Yes, I do.
Discounts or whatever?
In the past, the seniors already have a discount. So do students. But it's not significant. It's not huge. What I would like to do, and I know I said this before, what I would promote and attempt to do it, because I cannot do it alone.
Of course,
it will require the regional council to approve it, is to give seniors a free ride during non-rush hour, meaning during the day, because they could use.
I think that's a good idea.
Those buses are usually
empty.
Well,
half empty.
Semi-empty, not fully empty. Sometimes they're empty. Yes, I know, but we're hoping that
non-rush hour for the seniors is good, right?
Yeah, and the last time we didn't have sufficient support, sufficient votes to make that happen. Maybe we can.
Oh, somebody
do it.
opposed it?
Well, the rest of the region did not agree because staff recommended that we need the money to run the system, and if we lose it, we have to find it somewhere else.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we have to think of our seniors too. These people work for us long time ago to make the city beautiful and progressive. So I think it's about time to pay back.
Yeah, well, no, I agree. And maybe the way to do is to introduce it, maybe start at 25% reduction, then 50, then 75. In other words, implement it gradually. And maybe that may get better support than say do it all at once. We'll have to see how I can best push this forward.
All right. So for sure, there's a lot of questions regarding the seniors, and you have your own town hall meetings and meetings. Those people, you're gonna hear their their voices for sure, right?
And there are other things we can do to help them out with the snow removal. And that's another subject that I will be addressing in a way that we can give the seniors again a break when they need that kind of service and they cannot do it. But again, it has to be drafted properly, and then it has to be approved.
Approved, yes.
And that requires the full council.
Yes, and the city will be is ready to implement that once.
Well, I'm not sure that they're ready, but I'm ready.
Well, you have to. You have to support them. Okay, so you're planning on lowering taxes. Let's talk about the specifics.
Okay. The municipality collects taxes from properties. In other words,
yes,
we call them property taxes. That is our nearly almost only the biggest component.
The biggest chunk.
More than 90% comes from property taxes, and then we have services that we provide and people pay fees. But that's a small component.
Like the community centers.
Yeah, the use of the center, the use of the soccer fields, and the various clubs, they pay a fee.
Yes.
So we have some revenues that way. Then we have other revenues that when people make applications to put up a building or subdivision, there are fees, but those fees are intended to cover the cost of processing those papers.
Okay.
Sometimes there is a little extra
or
money.
even events like us,
That's
right?
correct,
Recently we had the Fiesta Extravaganza in the city of Vaughan. We pay the city.
That's correct.
For licensing and other
but that
services.
doesn't necessarily cover all our costs.
No.
So, it's
but collectively, if there's a lot of things happening in the city of Vaughan, then that will be big.
Yeah. So in essence, we need X number of dollars every year to run the city, to run it properly, to provide all the services, seniors, roads, snow, parks, community center, and many other things that we do. So if this year we needed 100 million, next year it may be 102, 103, or 105. So if we lower the taxes, then we won't have the money to do what we need to do. So that's not going to work. It could work for a year or two, but eventually catches up with us. So what I want to focus on is what we just talked about a moment ago, is to work with the provincial government, work with every other stakeholders and interested party to see if we can start reducing and eventually eliminating the education component from the property. Because if somebody or one of my opponents says, elect me and I'm going to reduce your taxes, my question will be, okay, what are you going to cut out from the service that we provided? Tell me what you're going to cut out.
You said it's going to come from the general fund.
That's correct.
If you cut it, right?
Yeah. If you cut it, you can reduce taxes. But what are you going to cut? You're going to close the community centers down? Aren't you going to cut the grass in the parks? Aren't you going to fix the road? Are you going to leave potholes there so that the people damage their cars? All of those services we provide, they're not frills. They're essential for the community.
So you're saying if the province agree, so it's going to be the province who's going to pay for it?
No, the province will reduce the the property tax component toward education that the province is responsible for. And obviously, by reducing that, they have to find the money somewhere else. But my argument is that it shouldn't be from property tax to begin with, because that's not what the intent was. The taxation is based on people's ability to pay and not what you own. A person may work for 40 years to pay a mortgage on a house, and by the time it's all paid, you're retiring, your income goes down, and then after sweating for 40 years or 30 years, all of a sudden you can't keep your house. And that's not fair. That's not fair at all. I think that the mechanism has to change to allow a retiree to enjoy his or her property that they worked for.
I know.
Okay? Rather than saying, I have to sell it because I can't pay the taxes.
I
think that's fundamentally wrong.
I have a question. I'm just curious. Okay, so is the city getting any revenue or a share of revenue from the province? Example, if for the general services or the regular HST, of course there's a federal part and the provincial part. So is the city getting anything from it?
No.
No, totally no.
No, we don't get anything.
Everything goes to the province.
Everything goes to the province and the Fed from that
Good
component.
To know.
Now,
Good to know.
We do get some money from the province, not a lot of money, but it's not money that we can rely on. Provincial money depends
It's a
on who's in
support.
power. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. All right.
For instance, remember years ago.
Subway.
Yeah, well, the same. It's a one project.
Yes.
We put-
If you plan for subway, so that means the province has a participation.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
It's
okay.
a shared cost.
Okay.
Let's say once the province told us years ago, we're going to support, you need more nurses in your region, and we're going to fund it 100%. We said, that's wonderful. We could use more nurses, and they're funding it. 3 years later, they're saying, well, we can't fund 100% anymore. Now it's going to be 50%.
Okay.
Years later, eventually it became 100% provincial. So there is all those kinds of things that go
Yeah,
on.
uh-huh.
Sometimes the province forces us to say, from now on, you have to have this kind of service,
Yeah.
or you have to have investigators, integrity commissioners, ombudsmen, and all those things cost money that we have to recover from all of us, the taxpayers involved. So there is a lot of things that go on that makes it challenging for us
Yeah.
to keep those taxes
Well,
down.
that's good.
But
Well,
I will do my best, as I always have, to keep the taxes at the lowest possible level, bearing in mind that we have to provide a service, and I'm not prepared to cut those services because I don't think that'll be good for the community. I think that'll be disastrous.
yes.
So,
Good thing the premier has no plan yet to slash the council.
well, we don't know
They
what's
did
going to
already
happen.
in the-
We don't
in
know
the
what's
city of
going to happen
Toronto.
in the future, but you do know that outside of Toronto, Toronto is a one-tier council. There is one council.
Yeah.
But in the other regions, such as us in York, or Peel, or Durham, or Halton, we have two levels. We have the local government, and then we have the regional government. That's why you have me as a local and regional councillor,
Yes.
because that's how it's set up. At some point, I would see that we have to take another look at that and allow one tier. And I think there are savings to be achieved
Yes.
by allowing one tier. Now, that will take time. We have to do studies. We have to, when you don't change out of the blue, we have to see how the new system would work,
Yeah.
and how do we make it work. And I think it could work, and it could work better, but that's for the future. That's not for now. As we are at now, the system will be the same, at
Yeah.
least for the next
And the system is
40
working
years.
well.
Right.
So don't touch it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
no.
like saying, don't fix it if it's not broken.
No, what I'm saying is that we should look at the alternative of going to one system. But that's not going to happen in this term of council, because this is the way it's proceeding at this time.
Yes.
If there are changes, it will be for future councils.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question for you is increasing family programs. But before you answer that, we're going to pause for a break.
Sure.
All right. So giving time for you to, think we can discuss more about increasing family programs for your constituents in the city of Vaughan. All right. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Kung ikaw ay bibigyan ng kalahating oras lamang para ipalaganap o ipaalam sa publiko ang iyong negosyo, paano mo sasabihin ito? Every second counts. Kung ikaw ay mayroong pagkakataong kausapin ang iyong nasasakupan o bayang pinaglilingkuran, ano ang nais mong ipaalam sa tao? Every word matters. 30 seconds is all it takes. Business and Politics in 30 minutes. Ngayong Sabado na, alas 11 ng umaga. Abangan sa PinoyRadio.com. Parang kailan lang.
Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. This is Chicky Pineda for Pinoy Radio. I'm very happy, I'm very excited, and yes, I'm very nervous.
It was October 11, 2014.
This maiden voyage, the very first Pinoy Radio broadcast of yours truly, Chicky Pineda. Yan na, tumitili na ako! In all of my chickiness, this is
Believe
to the
me,
friends and fans
siya'y
out there.
magbabalik.
How did you know I needed someone like you? Yes, you. I give thanks. So here I am, Chicky Pineda. Love it, love it, love it.
Catch it when she returns for a new season on MCBN sa iRemit libreng tawag ka sa Pilipinas tuwing magpapadala ka ng pera via iRemate from any of our 8 branches across Canada. Visit Better's Toronto branch and enjoy free coffee or tea and other refreshments and experience the comfort of their service while sending money to the Philippines. Inyong natunghayan ang isa na namang kabanata ng Business and Politics in 30
Action
minutes.
Honda brings back the holiday treat you have come to love that made Honda Honors proud. And today, this year, you will like it even more than yesterday. Showcasing the latest models. 2015 Civic, 2015 CRV, 2015 Accord Sedan, or 2015 Coupe. Get holiday bonuses and cash incentives. The best-selling cars for 17 years in a row. And still, Canada's favorite car. Bring home a Honda today. Action Honda, 4334 Kingston Road at Lawrence Avenue East. Own one today. Abay, wag na magpabebe pa. Action na. Habang meron pa, call us now, 416-281-1234.
Welcome to Comfort. Welcome to New Plaza Motel. Conveniently situated just outside the hustle and bustle of downtown Toronto, you can truly enjoy your stay with our capable staff at your service round the clock. Check-ins at 3 p.m. and checkouts at 11 a.m. For additional details and other concerns, visit our website at www.newplazamotel.ca. New Plaza Motel, 4584 Kingston Road, Toronto.
We migrated in Canada as a family for a better opportunity.
I came to Canada to start my own business.
I came to Canada to work, study, and settle.
I love Canada, and I came here for a better life.
I came to Canada to be reunited with my family.
We came to Canada because it is one of the best countries in the world.
Northern Quest Canadian Immigration Services, 647-302-3508. Email us at info@northernquest.ca or visit our website, northernquest.ca. Kung ikaw ay bibigyan ng kalahating oras lamang para ipalaganap o ipaalam sa publiko ang iyong negosyo, paano mo sasabihin ito? Every second counts. Kung ikaw ay mayroong pagkakataong kausapin ang iyong nasasakupan o bayang pinaglilingkuran, ano ang nais mong ipaalam sa tao? Every word matters. 30 seconds is all it takes. Business and Politics in 30 minutes sa PinoyRadio.com. Less cheddar, more treats. Entertaining the global Pinoy. PinoyRadio.com.
Okay, so we're back on our program. You are listening to Business and Politics on a Sunday, and we are privileged to have the local and regional councilor of the city of Vaughan, Mr. Gino Rosati. Okay, so Gino, we took a while ago. We're talking about topics on eliminate the gridlock, on traffic, expand senior services, the low taxes. Now we're going to talk about the increase on family programs. But before you answer, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Erlinda Insigne. She is the president of the Filipino-Canadian Association. Well, would you like to say hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, there you go.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Regional Councilor Gino Rosati.
Okay, so now let's talk about increasing family programs. So what do you have in mind? Because you're re-electing and you're promising improving the increase on family programs.
Yeah. Well, there's a number of things that we can do. This is not just the city of Vaughan, but I'm speaking about York region. For instance, there are families that have issues with transportation, and I receive complaints all the time that the service is not available, or regional vis-a-vis provincial service for people in needs. They only have 2 hours a week and they have no one to look after their loved ones. And that's part of the whole family, because when that service is not there, it affects us, everybody else in the family. And I think we have to do a better job, coordinate better with all the entities that share this cost, to making sure that people are looked after properly for the time required. I know that's not an easy task, but I think it needs to be addressed. Okay, and we have people with special needs as well that I run into all the time. There are services there, but in most cases not adequate. The mobility service is not adequate, and I think we have to do a better job to accommodate them as well. And of course, we do a lot of great work for our children, particularly in the sports field.
Yes.
But we have to look at accessibility, the cost, and I think we have to bear in mind that sometimes some kids can't participate because they can't afford the fees, and I think we have to...
And the government has a plan to, somehow subsidize
I think
the...
that we have to reach out to that a little more.
Or help out.
I know the service provider, the clubs, sometimes they absorb that as well, but I think we have to participate. Going back to seniors, I think we have to provide a little more help in terms of snow clearing, in terms of transportation when it's required, and taking care of them a little bit better.
What about daycare? Any plans?
Well, daycare
improving
is,
because it's basic needs.
Yeah.
Parents cannot work at all or full time if they have a problem with their kids or the babies.
A, there is a shortage of daycare. Two, they're not run by us. They're private. It's under the provincial jurisdiction.
Okay.
The region plays a bit of a role, but the people either those pay directly to the service provider, or those that qualify for subsidy will receive subsidies, but that is entirely provincially mandated, and they have a limit to what they provide, and the service provider are regulated by the provincial government, and they have a ratio of so many pupils per teacher, and that creates a big cost for them, and that's why one of the reasons why daycare is so expensive, but also it has to be done right, and when you do things right and you have all the proper mechanism in place, it costs more, but then again, it's for our children, and that is very important for the future. And I think that it needs to be more, and you may remember during the provincial election, everybody has been promising more. So I hope they come true.
So probably Erlinda has a question for you. Do you have any question for Gina?
With regards to the seniors people you're going to provide free transportation to seniors if possible?
Yes, we did touch on that earlier. I tried the last time, and it didn't go through regional council. That means I will not do it again. I think that I'm going to take a different approach this time to introduce that maybe in a gradual system, whereas reducing, say, 25% per year over a 4-year period. At the end of a 4 year, they should be allowed to travel free in our transportation system during daytime, non-rush hours. And I think that's achievable. Yes, I know there is a cost. There is a cost to everything we do, and there is a lot of pressure on us to keep tax down, and we will do that. But there is something that we have to be able to squeeze in there and recover the money from in different ways to provide that service to seniors, because I think that's very, very important. And it provides them with a bit more freedom.
Well, like what you said earlier, it's about time to pay back. The seniors work hard for the development of the city, the province, and Canada itself. Right? So I think they're getting old now, so I think we have to give them more benefits because they contributed to the economic fabric of Canada.
I fully agree. We're doing some, but I think there's more we can do, and we touched on some of them, and I think that's the least we can do. When we spoke earlier about the taxes, and somebody that has worked for 30, 40 years, and then the income goes down, and then they can pay the taxes, and as we said, we gotta do something about that so that they can stay in their home. Their home is their castle. That's where they've been for a long, long time.
Sacred place.
And to force them out because they can't pay the taxes, I think it's terrible. That should not happen.
Just sell the house.
Well, that's, where do they go?
Reduce it. Use the equity. Take the condo.
No
more shoveling. No more cutting the grass.
But they want to live in their home.
I know.
It's the home that they.
But there are challenges ahead.
Well,
downsizing.
Well, it depends on the size of the house. But that's their. As I said, that's their castle. That's where they have lived a long time, and they shouldn't be forced out because of property taxes to pay for education when they don't they don't even have kids in the system anymore. And the grandkids should be taken care of by the parents, not the grandparents.
Right. Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would welcome that free transportation to seniors, because if that will happen, then more seniors will come to the community center to avail the activities that we offer here. So we look forward to that platform that you have, the program.
I hope so. I hope we will succeed in that.
All right. So another thing you're promising if you win the next election is, if you get re-elected, you want to introduce new policies that continue to protect and safeguard our environment, and you call this protecting green space.
Correct.
So would you like to tell us about it?
Well, yes, in general, I think that what we need to do is making sure that we have a proper balance of open space, green space, that allows our infrastructure and our system to work properly. And I think this needs to be addressed in a more direct way, and that doesn't mean that we're not going to allow development, because that's going to occur anyway. But the green space, protecting green space, is not necessarily how much, but how do we protect it, and how do we maintain clean, and how do we keep our running water clean, because that's very, very important. And everything goes together, and that's what I want to address in the future.
All right. So now those are your promises if you get re-elected on October 22.
I like to call it commitments.
Commitments. Okay. Eliminate gridlock, expand senior services, low taxes, increase family programs, protecting green space.
Yeah, all sounds good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the people also had, they should know also that you have accomplished and delivered other things, right? You have here the Highway 427 extension that happened during your term, the new Vaughan Hospital, I guess this is the Mackenzie Hospital, the first subway in Vaughan, you're part of it, and low taxes.
Yes,
and you intend to lower it again.
Yeah, in fact, we have one of the lowest taxes in the GTA.
In the GTA?
Yeah, we're very close to the bottom.
Lower taxes?
Yeah, lower than
Does it
others.
apply to the property tax?
We're talking about property tax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Maybe we should consider moving here. if the property tax
Linda is
cheaper.
already here.
Yeah. Yes. No, me. We have a lot of people here.
Well, let's say that I, together with my colleagues, of course, have worked very hard to keep the taxes the lowest level possible. That doesn't mean that everybody likes it. Hey, I'm still paying too much. But we do need, as I said before, we do need that taxes to cover for the cost of the service that we provided. And I don't think I'm prepared to cut any of those services, because they're all essential.
Yeah.
And also I do want to point out that your total, although we touched on it indirectly, your total tax bill, only between 20 and 25% goes to the city of Vaughan. The rest goes to the region for regional service, such as policing and other social services, roads and what have you. And the other 40%, 45% goes to the provincial government for education. And then again, that's a big chunk. Now, should police service be paid by property taxes? That's another question. But definitely the education.
Yeah.
That's, as we said before,
number one. Yeah.
It's number one that could be reduced
from that,
and stripped out of the property tax.
Makes sense.
Because it's an unfair taxes and it's not based on someone's ability to pay.
Yeah, give it to the province.
It's arbitrary. That's right.
Okay, Tita Arlita, probably you have a last question before I throw my last question to
the low taxes. How much? I think the taxes are increased every year, isn't that?
When I say low taxes, it doesn't say lowering your taxes. It's
maintaining,
low taxes to maintain to the lowest possible level. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
today.
okay.
Yeah.
With regards to the new Vaughan Hospital, when will this open?
2020.
Because there's, as you know, there's a lot of Filipino Filipino nurses, and they would like to apply. The same with PSWs and health professionals. So we're looking at the opening of that new Vaughan Hospital 2 years from now.
We'll provide
2020
jobs, and I know, and you and I have been in the Philippines a few times. And,
yes.
and I loved every minute of it. And
Oh, you've been there. How many times now? 2, 3?
3 altogether.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. There's one more coming up, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you have to join the winter escapade.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's already scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the next centennial.
Yes.
And it was just wonderful, and I feel I'm close to the Filipino community through Erlinda, but through everybody else. And,
Yes.
And I think we have a lot in common, and you're a big part of the city of Vaughan, and you're part of the shall I say, the multicultural mosaic that we all enjoy. And we have so many different cultures, so many different languages, and I consider myself fortunate to be part of it, to participate, and to learn.
Yes.
Because I think it's wonderful. And on that note, if I can say it in Filipino, mahubay, mahal ko kayo lahat.
All right.
That's great.
Did you Google that?
No. Yeah, no, I wrote it down.
Okay, good. Okay. So, all right. So our time is up, and now I'm going to ask you your message to the Filipinos in the city of Vaughan, and send them your message to support you this coming election.
Let me say, I know you all. I love you all. I care about the community. I respect and appreciate what you do, and I'm asking for your support on October 22nd with your vote. And if I am fortunate enough to get re-elected, I will continue to look after you and participate in all your events, and I can even do lions dancing. Okay?
Line dancing.
Okay.
And Zumba too.
Zumba, a bit of everything. Yes. Okay.
And maybe I can add to that, if I may, Vaughn, because Regional Councilor Gino Rosati has helped us in many ways. He was instrumental in the obtaining of this community center for us for 20-year lease from the start. Thank you, Regional Councilor Rosati. And he has helped us in many ways, like this putting up of Filipino sign in front of Dufferin Street, and also the friendship sign south of this building, which will be put up soon.
Yeah.
That is because of the assistance of Regional Councilor.
Again, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for all your support to the Filipino people here in Vaughan. And I'm also asking our community to support you in return.
This coming election.
This coming election.
To complete your legacy and to complete the 29 years in service. Sounds good?
Yes, thank you. Salamat to you.
Okay.
And mabuhay.
All right.
That's great.
Okay, so it's been a pleasure having the Honorable Councilor Gino Rosati, the local and regional councilor of the City of Vaughan, in our program. So again, this is Business and Politics. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Inyong natunghayan ang isa na namang kabanata ng Business and Politics in 30 Minutes. BP in 30. Hanggang sa susunod na Sabado, ganap na alas 11 hanggang alas 11:30 ng umaga, Eastern Standard Time. Dito lamang sa PinoyRadio.com, a division of MCBN Media Concept Broadcasting Network Incorporated. Business and Politics in 30 Minutes. Alamin ang mga pinakahuling kaganapan sa iyong bayan.
Magandang gabi bayan! Sa mga balita